Indian is highly evolved, civilized people because of these concepts which we have, which are absent in most other in the other 8 religions of the world. And you should not forget, as I mentioned in the first day itself, that Hinduism is not a religion like Christianity, Islam and Buddhism and Jainism. It has no prophet. It is not a religion. The word mata is not there in any one of our spiritual literature. The word religion is not there in any one of our spiritual literature. Mata is a blind belief. We don't believe in anything. Believe. Never believe anything unless it is rational and scientific, which can be seen. One is a manifestation. You can see. What you see is a pratyaksha, or what is called, what can be seen or heard or felt by touching is what is called pratyaksha deva, or manifested. The other is called anumana, that means inferred. If there is a smoke, there must be fire somewhere. That's what we call anumana, or inference. The third is called pramana. Pramana means an authority. We believe E equal mc square. We believe that light will bend when it approaches huge masses. Is because Einstein theory we believe because Einstein said it. Like Satya Sai Baba, if he says something, I believe in it. Bhagavan Ramakrishna said, I have seen God. Not many have confessed. Even our many saints and sages have not confessed that. But Bhagavan Ramakrishna is the only person who declared openly that I see God just as I see you, as clearly, lucidly, as in reality. I see you, I see God also. And Vivekananda actually asked him, can you show me also God? Yes. When can you show me? Now. How? You touch me and I will show you God. And he touched him and the whole world disappeared, and there was only some whiteness which was left in the whole world. He himself lost his body, he lost his consciousness in a way, and therefore come back. We can also approach God. That's another beauty of freedom. The beauty of freedom in our religion or Hinduism is we can approach him like a slave, a servant. As Hanuman said, I'm a dasa. The Padmanaಭ, the temple, our king of Travancore always used to call Padmanabha Dasa, means I am a servant of God. I am a servant of God. Now you can see how what's going on in our country. Why should we know all this? In order that we may understand through our ancient civilization how our rajas, our politicians, our general managers, our chairmen, our vice chancellors and the learned people, how they should conduct themselves as per the traditions and customs of our country is manifested by this concept of freedom. You can approach God like a dasa. You can approach God like a friend. Arjuna considered Krishna as his friend. So he used to call him Krishna just like we will call our friends. That's also feasible to have, and Krishna accepted Arjuna as a friend. That's why the Bhagavad Gita was rendered to Arjuna. We are all Arjunas. And David Frawley, he has written this book called Arise Arjuna, Awaken Bharata. And one of the primary idea in which I agreed to give this series of talks in Shankara TV, and I am grateful to them for it, because most Hindus do not know much about Hinduism at all. It's a great pity. 80,000 go to temple in Tirupati, and about 10,000 go to Guruvayur every day. But if you ask them what is Hinduism, they don't know. In the last 3 years, I have addressed 2 lakh faculty and students of engineering colleges and management institutes. 2 lakhs in the last 3 years. On ethics and morals, mostly the subject is centered around ethical moral values like honesty, integrity, humility, compassion, karuna, helpfulness, selflessness, flexibility, cheerfulness, etc., etc. One friend telephoned and asked me, Professor, Please let me know, Valmiki, did he write the Ramayana or did he write Mahabharatam? He himself does not know. Valmiki. That's the great tragedy of this country. It's actually a crime we are doing, and that is why David Frawley has written, "Oh Arjuna, wake up." What is meant by wake up? Please understand, you know thyself, as Jesus would have said. We should understand the greatness of our country, greatness of our spirituality, religiosity, our principles, our values, our ethics, the correct achara, the correct samskara, all that we should have an understanding. And it's a great tragedy of India. As you know, as I mentioned in the first set of episodes, that's a great tragedy of India. In spite of such a great tradition of 10,000 years, that we never attacked any other country, everybody else attacked us. They destroyed 3,600 temples, looted 3,000 odd temples. Our treasures were looted, our women were molested, we were converted. So much of atrocities were done to India. And at last India gained freedom some 62 years ago. And yet in these 62 years, India is not still teaching Indians what is Hinduism is. Because of this so-called multicultural society we are, having three different religions, Christianity, Islam and Hinduism, and the fact that we are what you call subcaste and so on, we are declared ourselves to be a secular country. By secularism means not anti-religion. Secularism does not mean against any religion or any pro any religion. Only equal treatment to all religions is one concept. The second concept is, when I'm a Hindu, when I'm talking to a Christian, the fact that he is a Christian, I'm a Hindu, or he is a Muslim, I'm a Hindu, that should not come in the way of my transaction and relationship. Transaction and relationship. Only state in India which has implemented this concept is Kerala. In Kerala, there are 30% Muslims, 20% Christians, and the rest are Hindus. Say 50% are Hindus. But they conduct themselves in politics, as in their specializations in government, outside the government, as ordinary citizens, that they are not affected by the fact that by the religion they are not affected at all. Coming back to this concept of freedom, I am trying to say that we have accepted we can treat God as a friend, as a dasa. We can consider him as even our lover, as Meera did and the Gopikas did, as a lover. We can consider him as what you call a teacher, as a teacher. And that is why in India, a teacher is above God. That's another peculiarity, uniqueness of India. Our civilization depends on teachers, I mentioned to you. That's why we started off with Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha. Why? We consider even gods, the so-called gods, are below teachers. And even Janaka Maharaja also has a teacher. Shankara had a teacher in Govindavada, Sri Rama in Vasishta, Krishna in Sandivini. So every great, even a great Purna avatars like Rama and Krishna had teachers, and Shankara was a great teacher. And as a teacher has the highest status in India. He is not a mercenary, he is not a professional, he is not a careerist, he is God himself. So coming back, I mentioned to you about you can consider yourself as a dasa, as a friend, as a lover, as a consider God as a teacher. Like that we can approach him in any other fashion which you wish to postulate for yourself. And you can bow before him, you can treat him as a Sharanagati. That means you are nobody, I have nobody else other than you. One concept of India civilization is we entirely consider ourselves as instruments of God, vehicle of God, agenda of God, platform of God, and so on. Therefore, the highest level is we say, Anyatha Sharanam Nasti Tvameva Sharanam Mama. You are the only refuge I have. Tasmat Karunya Bhavena, please have compassion for me, Karuna for me, and we can also say, Raksha Raksha Maheshwara, please protect me. So we can also ask him, please protect me, please look after me, please look after my welfare. You can approach him, as I mentioned to you last time, in any fashion which you like. And look at the other concept which we have in the civilization. In the civilization which gives us what is called flexibility and freedom. And if you have freedom, what do you mean? Ishta Devata. For instance, now my wife considers Guru Ayappan as a god. I do not have that particular concept. Some people go to Parani and Subramanya. Some are Vaishnavites who believe in Vishnu. Some are Shaivites who believe in Shiva. Some are Ramanuja. Each one had his own concept of God. And we really do not know what exactly it is all about. At one end we say that God is Chaitanya, then how can we say there are thousands and thousands